of a blog to
Yes.
watch weekly. Who are we trying to get to do it, Ripley?
Well, those of you who are familiar with the watch company ProTech, founded by Barry Cohen, who also founded Luminox, also has a beverage company. It's called Kinetic. He sent a
Okay.
case to try. No caffeine. It's
Okay.
an energy drink, uses ketones. But
Okay.
what's I think most interesting about it, I'm gonna is
Yeah,
that there's
yes.
4 flavors. All the
Brought to
flavors
you
are
by
like two
Kinetic.
different flavors together. But all of the ProTech brand has always been about like first responders, military personnel. But there are now ProTech watches that are tributes to the Kinetic energy drink flavors. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the I'm drinking the blackberry
You
lemonade,
can't-
so I'll put on the blackberry lemonade
Okay.
watch, and I mean, that's pretty rad.
I'm
This
thinking
is such a morning
about-
show, morning TV.
Yeah, I'm thinking about
It's
jokes,
midnight
ways of
over
making fun
here,
of this,
though.
but I'm not smart
Good
enough to make
morning.
good jokes about this. But it's very funny. I
Is
think
it
the
Lum-
funniest drink is like, you know, like gamers had like the gamer energy drink, but there
Mhm.
used to be this old joke that like watchmakers were drunks. So like, you know, like watchmakers snug, like, you know, some type of like weird, it's no alcohol, but you'll get real screwed up. Non-alcoholic, but fully psychedelic.
Have you got a glass there, Ripley? I want you to pour it into glass and tell me if it's luminous. 'Cause
No,
13%
it's-
superluminova,
I wanna see
5%
what
watch
makes
grease.
you-
I wanna see
luminous.
what color it is when you
it's
pour it.
all clear. All 4 flavors now I've tried. They're all
Okay.
bone clear. It's not like Celsius where it's like it glows and fluoresces. This is just it's all clear.
We're supposed to get the message that all food colorings are horrible, horrible poison, even though they're so fun.
Well,
Like
the
there
hot-
we
the
go.
color of all the beverages we grew up with without the colorings would have been nauseating to us.
Mountain
Everything we grew up with, it's just like
Sometimes
horrible, like
sometimes you
dirty
don't want to
urine
know.
color.
Like you don't want to know the real color. There's a reason they put like a gallon of
Yes.
yellow 5 in it. It was to obscure what's probably a very
But
unappetizing.
out of all
hue.
the things that were carcinogenic, why colors? I don't understand why they had to be so horribly toxic. You know, like something is interesting. All the other stuff, that's no problem, but the colors, that's what's killing us.
The toxicity of color. There we go. There's another thing for
Is
Pantone
it sugar
after
and
last
acid?
week.
You know,
But it's not just what the colors that we eat. You know, orange has historically been a very hard color to make an enamel because traditionally the things they used to do it were toxic, and so you'll notice certain colors are more common in enamel just because other ones. It's not like we can't make it, but it'll probably kill the person who makes it. So. You know, I think the same thing probably applies to the foods we eat. Anything Mountain Dew colored doesn't exist in nature and probably isn't good for you. Its closest cousin is antifreeze.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
And its closest cousin in the color spectrum is antifreeze, which is arguably maybe won't kill you as fast. I'm not sure, but neither one's good for you.
No, don't drink antifreeze, boys and girls. Don't drink antifreeze. Right. What's been happening in the world of watches this week? What's caught your attention, Mr. Adams, first of all?
I was gonna say that antifreeze does look delicious, even though it's horrible for you. It has just
does.
the best look.
What's the
Would
watch?
Would it be
you-
apple or lime?
What does antifreeze
color?
taste like? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
yeah. Well, I mean, we know what color it is, but what, you know?
I don't want to even guess. I don't even want to think about it.
You will, because if you keep talking about Oreo, will go and just drink it.
No, it's like I don't want to. I want to train my brain, continue to avoid that. You know, don't even get curious.
Yeah.
What's been happening in the world of watches caught your attention? other
So
than
much.
antifreeze? So
Watches
much.
keep
Go on.
showing up. I have
Mhm.
such a weird watch that I'm reviewing right now. I think it's still under embargo, but it's like specifically supposed to be a low cost tourbillon,
Okay.
and
Another one.
it's based loosely, even though it's heavily modified, on this sort of Seiko NH35A.
Right, okay.
So I just think it's hilarious. It's a tourbillon, and that's the movement they chose as the base. They increased it to 4 hertz. It's an automatic. I guess it's decorated, but like this is just it's like the anti-tourbillon, and I just it's just fascinating.
I hate
It's like-
automatic tourbillons. It just feels so wrong. You know,
It's so
just-
thick.
just-
Look how thick it is. It's so
Putting a
thick.
tourbillon in an NH35 is like your 1,000 horsepower Honda Civic. It's a vibe.
Oh, there's a
It's
market for it.
Yeah, there's a market for it for sure. Is this Peacock? What brand is this?
No, it's not. That's the thing.
It's a secret.
It's well. That's I didn't want to get. So
This goes
into
out
it.
on Thursday.
This
that
is a
matter?
When was the last time
brand-
you were bothered by something like? You could just say it.
No, because there's a story because it's not even by the same people anymore. It's owned by new people entirely. So it's a brand
Oh.
that is a new brand, but that had been sold and is now another new brand with the old new brand name, but even a new part.
Roman
so that-
Jerome.
No, like
RJ is back. RJ and Zodiac collab. Full
there's
seal.
so much confusion behind it. So the brand was Filippo Loretti, but the dial doesn't say that. The dial of this one, even though Filippo Loretti still exists, is Atelier Loretti.
Oh,
So
okay.
if I just
Oh
said
my
Atelier
God.
Loretti, you'd have no idea what that means. It's owned by the people who own Nevada Grenchen and Volcan and stuff like that. They're the group that owns, and they own Undone actually too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we
So
go.
what kind of price point are we talking about? here?
$1,000.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay, doke. David,
it's-
what's caught your
It's
attention
loud.
this week?
It's loud.
Does it have any idea on what the time is? That $1,000?
Well, it has no hour markers of any kind, so no. No, you're not. It's an. You remember you had the guesstimator, David. This is
Mhm.
this is the king daddy of guesstimation.
Time guesstimation.
Oh,
wow.
Kiwi. David,
Well,
what's
I
caught your
took-
attention this week?
I just got my Med one out of the box,
Oh, cool.
and I realized how cool it is. You know,
Mm.
I've not worn it in like maybe a year or something like
Uh-huh.
that, and it's really sweet. It's totally different than how I remembered it.
Is this you gearing up as to what watches you're taking to Watches and Wonders? Is this you having a wee
No,
think?
no. A few too many people have this, so I'm not. You will never see me, wearing this at the
Well-
trade show.
You wear a
So-
It's
Daytona.
annoyingly common at the shows. I have to say, I
Yes.
love that watch
Yeah.
as well. But
Uh-huh.
likewise, wearing it around other watch people is actually the wrong
Big
audience
no-no.
to wear it.
You're saying too many people own that, but instead you opt for a steel Daytona?
Yeah, but the message is different.
It is a bit different.
You know?
It's a bit different. But you know what? It's a fair point from Ripley. Very
Uh-huh.
fair point.
So
Yeah.
What is the difference of messaging? Summarize the difference of messaging, Ripley, between David wearing his mad watch in uncommon
I should be the one
watch.
saying that, but let's hear Ripley's version.
Okay, yeah.
No,
But
if David
common-
says it, we're not certain that the point's conveyed by others. This is a test of whether or not the messaging is
What's
important.
the message
different.
that Ripley receives?
So the Daytona wears fantastically, especially the
Yes.
generation David has, which is the one with the lugs were nice before they got kind of Jurassic Park style. It's a great watch. And so someone who chooses it could be a hype beast for sure, or they could
Mhm.
just like that watch and appreciate it as being a great thing to wear on their wrist every single day. It's practical, you can read the time, and everything I just said about the Daytona does not apply to the Mad 1. It is difficult to read the time, it wears kind of wonky, and it's usually worn by someone who's trying to impress other watch folk that they have something that was both hard to get and objectively really cool. So when you see someone wearing it, especially in a watch environment, it kind of conveys the message that they're doing a little bit of horological peacocking, but it's not really so uncommon to the point where it's like, oh wow, what's that? It's kind of like an obvious choice. Whereas the Daytona, it's ubiquitous to the point where it can mean many different things. But if you see it in a watch setting, it's not because you're trying to impress someone that you have a steel Daytona and got off the wait list. It's more just because you like the watch.
It brings
So-
up the Daytona brings up the question of watch lover or just a guy trying to show off. You have no idea until you talk to the person. No idea.
Okay, so I think anybody who meets David at Watch and Wonders should go up to him and go, David, watch lover, or just trying to show off? David, how would you respond?
Let's hear the defense.
That's right, the defense from David.
Yeah, I think I had to Google this word because I didn't know it in English, but I know it in Hungarian. It's a teacher's pet,
All right,
so
okay.
somebody who's
What's
you
the
know what
Hungarian word for
teacher's
I
that?
was going to say, I want to know the Hungarian.
It's called Streber, which is
Streber.
Streber. Yeah, so
That
somebody's
sounds
a
like-
Streber
that's
is
That's a good watch brand. A Streber.
Streber, yeah, made in Germany, of course. And then basically, it's like, oh, Miss Teacher, you forgot to assign homework today. That's the vibe of a teacher's pet. And I get this vibe from a lot of people who keep wearing the Mad One anywhere and everywhere they go all the time. It's just basically it's their, when you get an A and then you get an A+ in your whatever little booklet for whatever task
Yeah.
that this is the vibe I'm getting, and I'm like, I just don't. it's just not, it's not the watch's fault, to be fair. But this has happened a few too many times that I was getting this
Is
impression.
the
so.
teacher the Instagram algorithm?
No, it's the watch brand people and the
Oh, okay.
yeah, mostly them. Yeah.
Okay, so which watch, if you see at Watches and Wonders this year, will make you go, yeah, teacher's pet? What's the most teacher's pet watch you could
Still
see?
this one.
It's still the
Still the
Daytona.
mad one. Yeah.
Also
No,
the mad one.
The,
mad
the,
one.
the
Yeah.
Omega Moon Swatch is rapidly rising in that, though.
Yeah,
see.
that's a good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
David did wear one at
Well, he
Watches
was
and
ahead of the
Wonders.
When
He
it was
did
cool,
it right away.
and it was called your anus. That's
He did it
fun.
right away. No defense to David. He didn't know if anyone else would care. He had no idea at the time.
Mhm.
Not at
And
trade
it said anus
shows.
on it twice. The only reason I wore it is because it was a Swiss watch that said anus on it twice, which I found hilarious. I still find it hilarious, though.
And nothing has beat it. There's never been more anus on a watch.
No. I mean, Oceanus is a good contender, but that normally says it just once. Let's see if we can find an Oceanus that says
If you
it more
really
than
want to
once.
find like inappropriate words hidden on Swiss watches, you don't have to look very hard.
No,
Yeah,
no, you don't.
but
Let's
this
see if
was
we can-
fun.
We'll see if we can come across some today. Right. So, Ripley, what's been catching your attention this last week?
In watches or
Well, anything, I suppose. I mean, you did greet both myself and David this morning with the rather fabulous knife on screen. we felt
So I got some
threatened.
coupons from Harbor Freight in the
Nice.
email. Yeah, in the email, and I
Coupons.
I got an email. I'm like, oh, I got to use these this weekend. So I went to Harbor Freight and bought a few necessary items for brush clearance coming up before fire season,
Mhm.
and a couple entirely unnecessary bladed implements, which are probably not allowed in the UK because they're awesome.
Definitely not allowed in the UK.
But in
I
terms
can't-
of watches, it is it is these energy drink themed Protex. That has been the biggest surprise of the week. I was saying Protex should do something more colorful and kind of outdoorsy, less
Mhm.
first responder, but still in that world. I
Mhm.
was saying this show needs an energy drink sponsor. Here I am drinking an energy drink that was sent to me wearing a colorful Protex. This is kind of an awesome
You're basically on Watch Blogger Spring Break.
yeah, this is great. I'm wearing shorts. It's been hot and sunny. I'm drinking a beverage.
I think
Look at all
a
these colors.
watch
It matches the
sponsored
hat.
by a semi-farcical energy drink brand. Sorry, you can't just make a drink and make it a brand, right? Like it's got to be more than that. But like that the watch honors the brand new brand. It's like the most spring breakery of wristwatches ever.
And to
Like,
think I
it's
used to
just-
get grief for doing the which watch is like and then listing drinks. We now have our first actual watch that's like a drink because it's the same company. Right, let's talk some watches. Probably the biggest, would this be the biggest release of the last few days? The Longines Next Generation Hydro Conquest. I'm a big fan of the old Hydro Conquest. What did
Oh,
you
the
guys? The memes are good. That's all we're here for these days. Frankly, that's
I
all
think
watches
the
are for.
budget Omega strategy works. I know it's a
I-
bit cliche, but I think it actually works.
I think they get away with this. I
Yeah.
think everybody looks at it and goes, "Yeah, it's a planet ocean. It's a
Because
submariner.
you
it's
know
a
how much more
Tudor."
the Omega is that you don't want to spend that money. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
Longines is good quality, and I would be
Exactly.
willing to spend that amount.
yeah. I think that's,
And
I
if
think
you
it's
need more
bang
mental
on.
gymnastics, you can say, well, look, the Longines has a ceramic bezel and Omega's switched to aluminum. So look at that. I'm even getting more for my money. So
Yep.
yeah, there you go. It's
Which
it's a
Omega
crowd
has
pleaser. This is
an
like this
aluminum
makes a lot
bezel?
of sense.
Is
Um,
is
The new
Longines
Seamaster
the new
300s. So the
Oh, geez.
Seamaster 300s, the vintage inspired ones, all have aluminum, and then the new Seamaster Diver 300Ms, with the no dates.
Wait, is this
like the-
aluminum or ceramic?
No,
the
this is
bezel?
ceramic.
This
We're
is
talking. The
ceramic.
Omega has aluminum. So
Oh gosh,
the
yeah.
newest ones
that.
all have aluminum dials and bezels.
But is
So-
That's crazy.
weird question, and this is not me just being like silly, like, but is Swatch Group potentially positioning Longines as the new Omega? And when I say the new Omega, I mean it is inhabiting the price point that Omega used to inhabit. Like that wouldn't be a terrible idea because Omega clearly isn't going back there.
Yeah, they've
that's
priced themselves
interesting.
out.
Yeah, like that's not happening.
What I want to know is if this case is reverse compatible with the Submariner. It would be hilarious if you could fit a 3135 Rolex movement in it. It looks identical. You know, look at those logs. This is like, oh, they took a Submariner from 15 years ago and they just
Oh,
blatantly
yeah.
copied it. That's
That
so
is true.
blatantly obvious.
That is the
you see?
Rolexy of lugs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Look at the
Yeah.
crown. No, you
It's
know
a
where you
bit
see it
much.
in the crown protector. You really see it in the crown protector.
I see it in the logs. You know, I think it's, you know, the way that they curve downwards and, you know, the lapidated sides, you know,
But you know what? It's
the
a
almost
crowd
vertical
pleasing
sides.
look. You know,
Mhm.
and look, at least the bezel's not fluted. Okay.
Bezel's not.
Oh, geez.
$2,200. I mean, that's not
And what
just.
they did, sorry, Rick, is
It's-
that they've
mhm.
swapped the hour markers around. So what used to be rectangular on the Submariner is around here, and what
Yeah.
used to be round on a Submariner is rectangular here. This is the lowest effort copycat watch I've
I
ever
love
seen.
it. I love it. But
Well,
we
that's
still
it.
like it. And they think they're
Yeah,
brilliant.
this
They're
is-
like, oh my God, some guy got like champagne because of this.
Yeah, and the chat is. I thought the chat in this article was just going to absolutely hammer it, and it really doesn't. There's really quite for our chat. There's really some quite positive comments, which is unusual. It's
Only the
2,000
Swatch Group knows how to hit the absolute limit of acceptability, right? Like they knew exactly how far to take it to be slightly regurgitative, but not beyond the line. This means they're made of us. They have watch lovers there. Thank you, Swatch Group, for still being one of us.
I mean, is this not the ultimate student graduation watch? It's in Christopher Ward territory, and it's a Longines. I think this is.
Oh, I'd rather have this than a Christopher
Oh
Ward.
no,
I'd rather
absolutely,
have that.
absolutely, and I think that's quite a problem for Christopher Ward because it's in their price bracket. It's in the price bracket of quite
Christopher
a
Ward
number.
will just go copy someone else. Don't worry about it.
But it's in the price bracket of quite a lot of brands you would consider micro brands, and this is very much not. You know, it's seen sponsoring big budget sports events. People know Longines. They might not know how to say it, but they know Longines as a force within the world of Swiss watches. I think this. My question, I suppose, is: do you think they've stumbled on this slight genius, or that it was planned?
No, this
I
is
just sent
totally
you-
planned. Totally planned.
I
And when they-
emailed.
yeah, go
Open
ahead.
your emails, Rick.
Okay.
Pull up those memes that I'm no longer on Instagram, but people, my friends share with me the best ones, and just so that you can see how it was made.
Uh-huh.
There's this meme from Family Guy on the Noah's Ark, and hopefully you can put it on the screen because
I
that
will
will
do. It's
explain
not-
how
it's
this has
not-
come to
It's
be.
not arrived in yet, but as soon as it does,
It's just click refresh. It's gonna be
I'm
there.
clicking refresh. It's Scotland. It's got a long way to go.
So let me explain what the Swatch Group understands. It knows what watches people like but can't afford.
Mhm,
And then it says which one of our brands can make one.
mhm.
Isn't it
They-
true
they're-
for all the Chinese brands as well? Basically, at this stage, the
Well,
San
look-
Martins of the world and all the rest of them.
I understand, but the Swatch Group has all the brands internally, so it can be one internal thing. So they can say, we got this individual to like the Omega, right? At let's say $10,000. But we can still serve his needs in group with this other brand over here. And that's very rare to see that. Some brands try to do it internally, like Seiko's like, oh, you don't want to spend $6,000? We got a $1,000 one for you. Swatch Group understands that people are a lot more brand sensitive and they perceive a certain price with it. So they're just trying to fulfill the unmet demand within their other brands to the best that they can. And I don't know that there's any other group. I mean, Richemont, for example, its brands don't differentiate in price enough. The brands that are lower end, they like don't care about, right? Swatch Group is the other way around. They have like really high end in the middle, and even of course lower than Longines. So I think they're very uniquely positioned to do this strategy.
But they have uniquely positioned themselves through pricing Omega out of the reach of most people. You know, I think that's the problem. They have just increased, their prices into oblivion on very
we all
popular
agree
models.
that was a terrible idea. We all agree. I will not say that was a good idea, but as a result of that, they're like, making the best opportunity possible out of maybe what wasn't the best move. Like they're like, okay, we've already gone that way, we can't backstep, but like how can we somehow still benefit from that through other brands? Like it's finding market opportunities. I think that it's a clever move, and it shows maybe not the obvious thing that they would do, but it shows them seeing market opportunities and trying to fill them.
In defense of Omega's higher price point, which I can't believe I'm saying this, it must be the beverage. Swatch Group had a lot of brands in the lower end of the spectrum, from Omega to the $1,000 price point before the Omega price increase. And so I could see them in a world where they had to create a bigger range, a more diverse spread between a Hamilton and a like a Breguet or a Blancpain. And so by pushing Omega up, it gives Longines a bit more breathing room, and then that allows Certina, Mito, Hamilton to be less on top of each other and kind of find their own spot. This is painfully accurate, though, here on the screen.
The memes are now on
Mhm.
display for those that are watching on video.
Describe it. I mean, it's a scene from a Family Guy when Noah's Ark, where clearly an elephant and a penguin,
Hybridization.
yeah, created a little elephant penguin baby, and of course the watches are overlaid on top of the elephant penguin, and basically the hybrid is the Hydra Conquest that came out of it. And then there's one more where the guy is putting this is okay, but this is just naughty, or nasty, I should say. But the one with the glasses is hilarious. That's my favorite. This
The
is so
famous
good.
Spider-Man, or not the most famous Spider-Man meme, but the second most famous Spider-Man meme, which is this one. Yes, the Rolex Blues 8 in
It's so good.
comparison
I
to
love
the
that
Hydra
there's-
Conquest.
true.
It's
At
just
least 3 separate internet jokes about this one
Uh-huh.
release. Like
Mhm.
this is a very enthusiastic community. It's not just they made fun of this, but there's multiple jokes about this.
But it works. I just don't know why this seems acceptable, whereas anybody else doing it right now, we'd be going nuts.
What do you mean
If-
acceptable?
Well,
Like, what do you mean? What's wrong with it?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't. It feels like it's clearly inspired or copycat of several other watches, but for some reason, Longines have made that acceptable because
It's
they've
their-
got.
This is mood boarding, right? This is AI.
Mhm.
They just basically said like, here's the watches we want, make a Longines out of it, and then the
Mm-hmm.
designer's like, oh, that's what we're like. We know this started in AI. I'm not saying this is AI design, but we know this started with AI queries.
All right, okay. AI query, give us the. So I wonder what happens if you put the Longines watch into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to use the Longines Hydra Conquest to inspire itself to produce a new Rolex, as to what it does if you reverse engineer it.
It will
If you
misspell
ask it.
Swiss on the dial. Like that's probably the only guaranteed
Mhm.
thing.
True, very true.
And it will
very
not
true.
put a Milanese bracelet on it. I think the Milanese really sets it off and differentiates it from the Rolexes and most of the Omegas of the world. So I think in that and then this is a genre in the same way how a coupe is in terms of cars. And it's not supposed to be just the company that made the first two-door coupe to be allowed to make two-door coupes. So of course there's going to be limitations or to the genre, and this one is
Let
a
me
bit
ask
on
you
the
a
nose,
question.
but still works.
Other than the Hydro Conquest, which again is an amalgamation of others, what has Longines done that's original in the last, like, I don't know, like 60 years? Like their whole thing is like watches that they originally came out with around when like Charles Lindbergh was around, right? Like why are we like, why is this even a discussion? Like if they came up with something unique, I think we'd be far more angry. But like, what are you trying to do, Longines? You don't understand design. Like just make what you used to make. So I think this was the safest, most palatable direction, and they would have been flamed if they tried to do anything new at all.
Okay. Well, we didn't flame Longines. Let's see what we think of this. The Golden Concept Royal Automatic Watch Review.
Oh,
The
did it
first
just publish? I'm
it's
not even
just
prepared
published.
to talk about this.
The first traditional timepiece
Oh, I
from an
need some
Apple Watch
ketones.
case maker. Well, introducing the cocaine
This is a
bear
Royal Oak that
watches.
needs to hit the gym bad. It's
Yeah. So
do you know,
drink
do you
less
know how
water.
this brand started as? I think
yeah,
that's an interesting thing.
give us the
So this-
TLDR.
I don't know the first product they made, but I think this brand started life as a fancy iPhone case maker who
Mhm.
later made a fancy Apple Watch case maker who only then after that said, hey, let's make a mechanical watch.
Okay.
So the first product I reviewed for them was an over-the-top fancy case for the Apple Watch Ultra.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
Rings
oh,
a
we're
bell.
doing this. And I was like, I have to see this thing. It has these special, the bracelet's interesting. You can literally pinch the links and they open up and you can separate the links that way. It's got, they sell way too many dial versions, like way too many.
Okay.
But this is just one of many. It's like a bit expensive, but oddly well done for a first watch. I don't hate it. I don't know that the logo makes sense the way it's written on the dial, and
But
that
the-
little like graphical
Or the
emblem
end
on the
link.
top. Yeah, the end link thing. That's a bit pretentious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
but
like
Gucci.
you're not Ralph Lauren. You don't get to have the little man with the club, on the
Yeah.
horse. That's
The problem with the brand name is in this country there is a brand called Golden Casket, which is
Oh.
a group of funeral directors. And
Does the
Golden
shape of the
Concept-
coffins look about
yeah,
the same? Is
it's
that
just
coffin shape
probably.
there?
I mean, there's some fat people in Scotland, so maybe.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, it's just a bit. Golden Concept just doesn't work as a brand name from my
Well,
point
that's
of view.
cool.
But
I like the
2000,
bracelet design.
yeah, bracelet works well. It's more expensive than a Hydro Conquest. There you go. That should probably be case closed. However, I do want to check out their website.
Casket closed.
Yeah, I suspect the website's going to be something to behold. So let's go to the luxury Apple Watch.
So
Let's
do they
Ooh,
make
Look
a?
at that! Wow, that's cool.
Is this the case for the? Is this a?
Yes,
what-
Yeah.
this is-
oh.
this
So
is
do
their
they
first-
make-
Strap is cool.
Do they make a case for the watch?
What do you mean?
Can you
do
put
they-
the watch in a bigger
In their own
case?
case?
Yeah.
I don't think they've gone that far yet.
Okay.
So you can turn your Apple Watch into a Richard Mille, apparently.
Yeah.
And your
there we
iPhone
go,
into a
there's the
bag, too.
one. New
I
watch
like that a
collection.
company like this made a watch. I dig that they did
That's
that.
cool.
It does feel expensive. What's
Are
the
they a lot
movement?
more money over there? I think they're way more money in your country.
That's
You're ex-
3,500 euros.
That's
so
like
Yeah,
what's
that's like
$4,000.
$1,000 more than here.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What is it? I,
think
mean,
it's-
what actually is the watch? Does it tell you? It must tell you what's in the case. What's that?
It's an automatic watch.
An SPSW 200. What's that one?
It's
The
a
Royal
It's a
Sport.
Solita.
The Royals don't really do sports, do they?
It's a
Sounds
knockout
weird.
and sports that get you arrested, probably. Powered by Swiss Automatic Movement, the Royal Sports. Maybe not the times we mentioned they're basing
They
anything on
shouldn't,
our
they
royal
shouldn't have so
families.
blatantly had the word royal on there. I know it's kind of
No, that might
Royale with
prove to be a
cheese.
mistake. Well, there you go.
it is
That's
kind of
cool.
burger looking.
Okay, well,
Yeah. I mean, they've stayed true to their original business because this watch looks like you put a case on a case. It just looks a bit bloated and stuff. It really appears to have a shroud over a regular watch, to my eyes at least.
It's like surprisingly comfortable, surprisingly hip looking. It's got some cheesy mistakes, like the emblem thing on the end link there.
Royal
But like
with
it's
cheese.
not terrible.
not
I just
terrible.
love that they put
It's
so
not.
much effort in these like fancy adjustment systems for the bracelet. And it's like, yeah, it's fun the first time, but like how often you're like, I'm gonna adjust my bracelet today. Well, you don't have to. It's like you do it like one time.
Well, if you want to spend 3,500 euros on not terrible, then
That's
this
a
is-
lot
this is
over there.
where
I'm
to go.
surprised. It's so much
Yeah.
more than in the United
No,
States.
but surely no one's buying that for 3,500 euros to be getting grip of yourself.
I mean, you have to imagine if you got their phone case and you're just like so
Uh-huh.
incredibly happy with it. And you're like, you know what I want? A watch to match my iPhone
phone.
case. We never grew up with that type of need, but that's a need
Shoot
now.
me now.
Because look, think about how close it is. The watch is just right there with your hand holding the phone. They're together. They must harmonize.
Okay, well, the question is, should we be adding golden concept to our picker wheel of death, Ariel. What do you think? Should we
I
add them
have
as a
no
brand?
idea how to answer that question.
Well,
No,
there's
we
only
don't need to. We
With a
don't need
yes
to
or
add
a
any
no?
more brands to it.
No
It's
more
already going to
brands.
go on for the remainder of the next
of
decade.
for natural recorded history. Right.
Welcome back to not this segment again.
Welcome back to the game where the rules change every week. Let's see who we've got in the picker wheel of death this week to make the rules up for to suit our own.
Can we do whose line is
agendas.
it anyway? Games. I would prefer
If you-
that.
Yeah,
Little
go
improv.
for it. Arnold and Son. Oh, come on, that's a good first choice. It's a good.
Just the
first
thing, like they
choice.
used to ask the audience, like for a couple scenarios, the wheel chooses the watch. It's like, okay,
Give us our
David and
scenario.
Ariel in this venue. David's wearing this watch. Ariel's wearing this watch, and then they have to play out some scene of like what happens. I don't know.
George Daniels.
David's talking to George Daniels. What do they talk about?
Yeah, I think I like that. I like that. If you would like to send in your prompt cards for the Whose Watches It Anyway spin-off, then that would be fine. Oh, please be honest. Please be honest. It's not Horus. It's Omega, first of the big beasts. Oh no, we had Breitling before.
And that's odd because
Ooh.
it's like the only brand that George Daniels had a relationship with.
So we kill off George Daniels or we kill off Omega. So who are we putting to
Can
sleep?
we rename Omega George Daniels?
It's a pleasant theory. It's a pleasant theory. So who are we killing off? Who are we putting to sleep? And who are we keeping?
I think
in their
Omega needs
current
to go into
form?
hibernation for a while.
I
It doesn't know
like
what it's
that
doing.
idea.
It's aimless.
Mhm.
It's like a bloated dinosaur.
If you
It'll
put it to
still
s-
be the first watch on the moon in another 50 years. That's not changing.
Hey, I mean, if
And
you put
it'll
it
only
to
be
s-
sexier because it'll be like a second or third watch on the moon because that new mission's happening.
If you put it to sleep, and when it wakes up, its prices will probably be about right
Yep.
in relation to the rest of the
Inflation
That's
market.
will
right.
have
The prices need to
inflation
go in
caught
up
cold
with it.
storage so the future is ready for them.
The
And
inflation
the
will
number
caught
of
up.
SKUs will have to have been culled by then as well. Like just due to
You'd hope.
material shortage or something. Like it'll
Yeah, the environmental crisis hitting the planet will mean that actually you're just not allowed to produce. There'll be new laws maybe by then. David will have become world president and decided that brands are only allowed to produce 10 SKUs, no matter what the brand is.
No
Ferrari,
one's allowed. Yep.
In Omega's defense, they have discontinued the Globemaster. So the
Okay.
Constellation is
They've been
as
making that this entire time.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, the Globemaster's now gone. So there's probably 400
What?
SKUs removed from the Constellation side.
Is it gone now? So you're
Yeah,
confusing
it's-
me.
I
Are they-
remember the launch. I wanted to like that watch a lot. You
Yeah, it's-
rarely, man. It's funny because as big of a brand as Omega is, they have some of the rarest watches to see on people's wrists. I never really thought about this, but like you basically see every like Rolex in someone's wrist. There's like a whole universe of Omegas that should be super
Nobody ever
popular.
It's not out there.
Like, why does somebody not want a budget Lady Matic? They made a ton of Lady Matics. Why have I never seen one literally since the launch? Since they were in store windows. Yeah, all
in
the
two-tone,
DeVilles that
with
nobody wanted.
sticky
Everybody
hands.
wants a good deal on the watch. What's going on? What's going on, Omega? Other than Speedmasters, what's going on?
Hmm.
Sorry,
mean,
okay,
Joe
rant
Mashop.
over.
Like I have no idea.
Someone's got to support it.
I'm pretty sure there's like a warehouse full of Globemasters or whatever we were talking
You
about.
see all the
just
unwanted
full of
Rolexes,
it.
all the little ones and stupid ones, right? But like all the unwanted Omegas, like they're toxic. Nobody would cut dead beaks wear one. They love the brand. They'll talk about how amazing the Speedmaster is, but they won't wear a Railmaster to save their life.
I mean, if we go to Watches of Switzerland's press department here on Hodinky, you will see the.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
Not a bird. Very literal.
Omega has actually released some watches.
No,
for their
those are
retailers to
those
sell.
are the new Constellation observatories, which are Meta certified and somehow don't have a
Have
second
second
hand. So
hand.
good luck proving that they're even running remotely close to what they claim to. Now, this is, I guess, replace the Globemaster. But if you go to Omega's site, you won't find the Globemaster.
But it doesn't replace the Constellation.
No. The Constellation is still there's
I
so
know,
many
it's
SKUs.
giant
it's
ocean of
nauseating.
products.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Yeah, I think somebody pointed out on the internet earlier this week there was something like, and we'll check the Omega website for context. Omega.
It's
just
an
sent you a link
objectively
to the
ugly
Omega
watch.
website.
It's kind of amazing.
Uh,
All they wanted to do was homage themselves in every way possible. They just turned into a grotesque mess.
So here's
That's
the
actually a very good description of what's happening.
here's the Omega website.
just-
And yes, so but there is let's go to watches.
Planet Shiny.
It
I
tells.
just, exactly.
They keep making these different colors. The first one was blue in the press images. This one's yellow. Like, why can't they just show the watch the color it is?
Is that man
I
about
was
to
so
hit somebody?
confused
There is
when
a
they launched
sec-
it, and it was blue on the pictures, literally blue, like blue ceramic, and it turned out it's just a picture.
Oh,
And nobody at
watches.
Omega said like,
There you
oh,
go.
probably we shouldn't make our watches look like as
Eight.
though they were made from blue ceramic.
857 watches on the Omega
down.
website. It is down.
They
That's
got rid
down.
of all
It
the
used to be
Glow Masters.
1,400. I remember I wrote about this in one of the grinding years. At some point,
Mhm.
it was, I believe, 1,400 plus on Omega.
Mhm.
And
You know
we're
what's-
talking about currently available models.
You know what's
Yeah, this is them
crazy?
scaling back.
If Omega only made 25 of each watch, their production would
that?
still excel.
That's $50,000.
Yes, I wish it
That
would show the
does look
prices
like a
for you guys.
Christopher Ward. I hate the Christopher
Yeah.
Ward thing. Christopher
Lego
Ward, have
watch.
I got a watch for you to emulate?
This is the
Whatever this
Swedish
thing is.
version of the Seamaster Aquaterra.
It's for
I'm
pole
sorry.
vaulting.
Is that a mistake? It's 41
No,
millimeter
it's the
titanium.
ultralight. It's got a titanium movement, a crown that it does a sticky outy thing. It gets hard if
Oh,
you
it's
push it, I guess.
literally. I hadn't actually scrolled down. It is literally the Swedish version because it's Duplantis, the pole vaulter. So yes, it did well in communicating that it was Swedish.
very
to someone who
light.
didn't realize that. So
Yeah,
very
it's
light.
the
I'm so
ultralight.
confused.
Mhm. One of these
And
was for
this
sale.
and this helps you do what? I mean, it's if you're
Know
if
the
you're
time when you're pole
vaulter-
vaulting?
but
Yeah.
it's such a like you're gonna fall on your wrist a lot. Why would
Well,
you?
it's
do
their
that?
Olympic athlete watch. Some of the sprinter folk wear them. It's their just ultralight
dude.
thing.
Armand
Richard
It's not
Mille.
cool when Omega does it, even if it's cool when Richard Mille does it. It's just not.
It's a javelin, and how did you know my name was Walter? Just to do the
If I
punchline
put
of a
this-
joke about pole vaulting for the Billy Connolly fans. Dear. Right.
If I put this watch on and I saw my family and I told them that it was 50,000 or more like $60,000, 50,000 pounds, they would probably disown me, and I wouldn't blame them.
Mm.
You know, it's you'd have to be literally just so far out of your own mind to buy this for 50K.
There
Because I
was-
googled it, and
There
there's
was one
it's
of
already
these,
yeah.
the original one for golf, which
Mhm.
went to auction, and I think sold for maybe £4,000 or £5,000 in auction, because it was like a small auction, not specifically to watches, and no one would have known what it was. in
Hilarious.
terms of it, it went incredibly cheaply. I need to try and dig out what the final sale price was.
Translation:
go.
zero curb appeal.
Yes, yes. There we have it. So that is. How did we get onto? Oh, I know how we got into it, because we were playing Picker Wheel of Death. So we're
No,
putting
because
Omega
someone in
to
a
sleep.
comment accused us of boycotting Omega. We don't boycott Omega at all.
Far from it. We have Omega Corner some weeks where we have. Okay, let's do Omega Corner this week. Say something positive about Omega. Ariel.
Oh, you mean now?
Yeah, right now. off the top
No
of your head.
preparation time.
No preparation time. No thinking time. Something positive about Omega.
What is your favorite
let's-
thing about Omega?
Favorite
Let's
thing about Omega?
rename the brand to George Daniels for a while.
Okay, that's fine.
That's what I
So
want to say.
George Daniels. So which are we keeping of George Daniels, and which are we killing? Our Arnold and Son. I quite like Arnold and Son. I have to
You
say.
don't have to kill them.
So-
You created the game. You are the dungeon
I
master.
can change the rules. Well, we're put.
So,
well,
Yeah, we have to.
we're
When
getting
we
rid of
say
Omega.
George Daniels,
Mhm.
like if we were to write George Daniels out of history, is this the man?
Oh,
We
well,
can't get rid of the man.
no, you're getting rid of the watches. This is a watch brand thing, so you're getting rid of his creations.
Okay, so he just did what he did and continued
Mhm.
to do what he did. Just
Yeah,
at no point were there watches branded with it. His name.
wait, he produced he produced watches under his own.
Yeah, but I'm just
Steve.
saying.
Game
in this hy-
destroying
in
paradox.
this hypothetical, if we were to write him out of existence, you know,
He
the
just never
coaxials-
produced any watch. The coaxial still existed because he created it and sold it to Omega, but he never created watch. He was the internal designer for Omega instead. He worked for Omega all his days.
Well, this is the butterfly effect. We might not have been putting them into hibernation if he
Mhm.
just stayed on at the helm.
I
Mhm,
recommend no
okay.
more than 30 seconds left of this particular part of the movie.
But how would you know it was 30 seconds? You're wearing one of those new Omegas with no seconds hands. You don't know.
I
when
am
30
not wearing
seconds
that.
has
I'm
passed.
wearing a different
Okay.
watch with no seconds hand.
So Omega were putting to sleep. I think we're keeping George Daniels and killing off Arnold and Son. How does that
That's fine.
sound?
Well, I mean,
Sold.
is the modern day George Daniels brand doing anything?
No. So you could
So-
advise it's killed off.
No.
So let's
Yeah,
reverse that. Let's
Arnold
kill
and Son's
George
putting out
Daniels.
some pretty
Sorry,
interesting
George.
stuff. They're putting
And
out a
Arnold
lot of
Son.
watches, lots of line extensions, but like
Okay.
there's some pretty cool stuff. Spherical moon spaces, all sorts of jazz.
Okay,
I mean,
so
what
George
you can
Daniels
get for
is gone.
$50,000 at Arnold and Son beats the pants off of $50,000 at Omega.
That is true.
100%.
This is true.
That's true. There we go. Well, it's a winner then. Okie dokie. Let us look at some more watches. Let's look at the flyback. This is where the watches we chose not to review and give full coverage to go to die and go to get abused, generally by Mike. But there's some good ones in here. There's also some honkers. Let's start off with a potential honker, Christopher Ward C63 True GMT.
It's a
really don't
face
like
as
this.
ugly as the name.
I can already I'm already anticipating the fanboys shouting this in lieu of Bel Canto for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
I-
Do you
I-
admit?
Yeah.
I'm
wow.
going to try and find. Let me see. So it's while you're talking about this, let me try and find a Chat GPT meme from earlier. Do you remember the tennis image, the famous tennis picture of the lady walking away from the camera, scratching her bottom? Does anybody remember
Yes.
that picture? This reminds me of that, but in a really bad way. This
This
is
is
Donald.
obscurity to you?
This is Donald Trump
is-
walking away
that
from
picture-
you, wearing his big white tennis shorts, revealing too
That
much.
picture has
bum
been
cheek.
ruined in so many ways. It was said that was a guy, not a girl. And now you're bringing this watch into this whole thing. That's
Yeah,
just
it didn't need. Like, it feels really flat, but it definitely didn't need the cutout.
What I love
expose
about
the
this
high
watch is
movement.
it does not exist out of the Watch Nerd universe. If this just sort of plopped down, it would serve no purpose. They could not, Christopher Ward could not explain why they built it. It's an answer to a bunch of perceived enthusiast desires without being a cohesive and comprehensive composition on its own. It doesn't have any reason to exist other than being an answer to a bunch of Watch Nerd conversations.
But that's true for so many watches now.
Sure, but I don't like them either.
yeah,
That's fair.
It kind
I
of
like
reminded
this.
me of. It kind of reminded me of this. That was the feelings this watch engendered.
How so? It would
in-
have to
in
be at
me.
least I don't know,
Just-
48 millimeters for that to be the case.
Well, it's 40. I think it's actually 42, isn't it? I think it's actually quite a sizable watch. There we go, and it's $4,000. This just makes no sense. I
I'd
think
rather
this is
have
the,
a golden concept.
is this the shark jumping moment for Christopher Ward?
I don't know what that means.
No, I don't think so. I mean, they needed another high-end thing to have and dangle in front of people. They had the Bel Canto, then they had the Loco. Clearly they felt there was a market for a sporty GMT that didn't look like a diver or follow that blueprint. So they've gone with this. I'm sure it'll do well for them. I'm sure the next wind up there will be a ton of people there to check this out in the metal. And that's the whole point of these watches. This isn't their bread and butter. This is like 3 times the entry point for a lot of their watches. So a lot of these kind of are the halo pieces, and they needed a new halo piece. So it makes sense, why they
Okay.
did it. I'm curious to see one in the metal.
Yeah.
Bless you for trying to explain why this watch exists.
Okay. This is one of my favorite, and I'd asked the question in our chat as to whether this should be considered a collaboration or just a branding. This is the Crayon X Pac-Man. I love this. This
If
is
this
so
was
cool.
a pirate watch and they didn't officially get the rights, I would find this so much more interesting.
But how old is Pac-Man? Like, is Pac-Man
Old enough.
Is it old enough for the rights to have expired potentially?
No, they're just not very expensive.
Right. Okay.
You know,
so
that's it. This licensing stuff. I mean, again, I went to law school. I understand how this
Mhm.
stuff is monetized.
So out of the $188,000 for this watch, how much? What
My
proportion of
point
that
is
is
that
licensing?
intellectual property such as Pac-Man is not worth the same amount as, like, I don't know, Spider-Man or something like that. So a lot of these smaller brands, it's like this juggling act between familiarity and the cost of the license. And so that's what's kind of interesting. Like, and they see it on a lot of other watches. So it never starts with these brands. We're like, oh, a lot of watches use Pac-Man. They must be cheap. And then since the brand has already done like 5 of these relationships, it's easy for Crayon. But Crayon's never going to be like, just go to some new entertainment property to try to figure it out. So what ends up happening is some innovative brand like opens the doors at these like video game companies or toy companies or cartoon companies that never in a million years thought like anybody would care about like luxury watches. They always thinking like, cheap souvenir novelty watches for kids.
Okay,
So the doors are open now. So,
If you do suffer from
But
epilepsy, don't
they
go
always
to
go
the
for the
website.
nostalgia play. They always go for the nostalgia play. I want to see like the Crayon Grand Theft Auto edition.
that will be nostalgic eventually.
I just have to wait a few more decades, I guess.
I love this. I think this is really good.
Did anyone have this good of a time playing Pac-Man? Is my question.
Well, that's
Think
true.
about how many of those table games you could buy for the price of this watch.
$180,000. Yeah.
It's a very fun thing. I don't know if the joke lasts long enough. You know what I mean? Like, I could see if you had like, if budget was no issue, yeah, you pick this up every once in a while. But like, is the message, is the ironic message here enough that you're like, I want to wear this to get my money's worth on a watch at this level? That's the question I have. I'm not saying I have an answer for it, but I think it's important to know if you're going to spend a lot of money on a watch like this from an artistic perspective, it should give you decades of enjoyment other than something which is kind of trendy and fun. And then you're sick of it in a couple of months. And I think that's, I've seen that happen with a lot of these types of character based watches. And it's hard to get that right blend between timeless artistry and that emotional capture.
So from an automaton point of view, does it work such that the little food dots disappear as the Pac-Man moves around? Is it like a mystery dial,
I think it might.
or is it, the Pac-Man goes by, so he doesn't eat the bits?
The Pac-Man, if you look closely, it's its own hand, so it's not doesn't
Yes.
move with the disc. So it looks like
It's
something
its own
completely
hand, but I
moving.
didn't know whether there was maybe some sort of mystery dial feature.
But it would look
underneath that means
totally
it
silly if there
drags.
was a little dot behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
And there's
sort
obviously
of-
that empty space there. So I think
Yeah.
it moves around. Is it the 24-hour hand? Yeah, I think it's the 24-hour hand.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's any video on this to actually show what happens when it moves. I don't see any. So there we go. If you have $180,000 and wish to buy one of these and let us review it in person, we can find out what it actually does.
I think this is for like really very drunk crypto bros on a boat, making all going online shopping at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, the Denison
All those.
ALD dual time shade style. I rather like this for $820. It's a twin. Is it a twin dial or is it two movements? Is my first question. Do
Two
we know?
movements.
Two movements.
It's
'Cause
two movements.
yeah, two movements.
you see
There's
two
two
crowns.
Crown on
crowns.
each side. Colors are very nice. I don't know what kind of size it is. We need to go to the Denison
37, I
website.
want to say.
Okay, that's the guess. Let's see what it looks like on the website. For those following along at home on video, this is the Denison dual time shades of brown, $570. Why is it $570 there and 630 from? All right, strap and bracelet, I think, is the difference. Or does it give us a size?
Does it remind
not
you of
give
like a
us size.
mid-century living room?
Your
That's what I
nana's
see.
your nana's living room. I don't see any size mentioned in any of the specs. Can't find any specifications yet. Nope, nothing there. It's quite cool for if you're either going to like this sort of thing or you're going to go, why would I have two dials? And it would be really annoying if you
remember-
couldn't get them to work the same.
Remember Philip Stein, that brand from a long time
Mhm.
ago? that
Yeah.
had the 2 dials. That was when that kind of look became popular, and I always recognized that and the Jacob and Company 5 time zones. That for me, having
Hmm.
multiple dials with 2 hands or 3 hands, like dials within dials, I don't like the look of it. So some people are okay with it. They think it's fun, like 2 time zones. I personally find it a little difficult on the eyes, but
Mhm.
I'm sure some people agree with me. But again, it's proven popular enough. So if Philip Stein could do it, so could Dennis.
So it
Yeah.
is 37 millimeters by 35.6 millimeters, and it's
Mhm.
6.1 millimeters thick.
Sounds
Okay.
little.
That's good.
Cool. Okay.
Is
Now,
it a
so
ladies'
that-
watch?
No, I guess it's a guy's
so.
watch. I mean, it's a rectangle-ish, so it'll wear larger than other 37s. And the movements are 2 Swiss
Quartz.
quartz rondas, 1032s.
Okay. Cool. And yeah, it seems that Mike just ran out of things to say. The Timex 1976 Lexington reissue. Here's a cute little tank alternative from Timex for $149. And that's pretty much all there was to say about that.
Yeah,
Unless
is there?
you guys...
Can you struggle? I struggle to come up with something else to say about
it's
it.
just a little watch. Yeah, you're going to like it or not. And $149, you ain't going to go wrong if you do want to wear one of these. Okay, finally, more interestingly, the Doxa Sub 202. Okay, we said that Omega had 820 odd SKUs for
Doxa is catching
a
up.
number of different lines. So if you can think of the number of different ranges of Omegas, they have the Aquaterra, the Seamaster, the
But
Planet.
they're all
They
in
have a
4
lot.
collections. That's the thing. Omega only has 4 collections, and then everything else becomes a sub collection.
Whereas Doxa basically have one watch. I mean, it's even worse than Panerai, surely. At least Panerai have watches with different lugs on them. Doxa is basically the same thing. Now, how
What do you
many?
mean? They got the cushion case one, and then they got this one. They've got
Okay,
2.
so they've got
Panerai's
2.
Panerai has 2.
Panerai has 3.
Rick, don't throw stones in the glass house, my friend. Here,
Panerai
we
has
could've
3.
just
It
left
also
Panerai
has.
out of
It
this
also has the
discussion.
really. It also has the really big one. So how many? How many SKUs? Is there a way of telling how many SKUs that?
How are these different
Doxa
collections? I still don't get it.
have? Well, we're scrolling. Oh, good grief! Right, okay. Just that's. I think I've managed to click on the show. So they have 137
Variants to
apparently.
117 products.
Yeah. So there you
Oh,
go. That's
Jesus.
quite a lot of watches for a small brand in comparison to Omega. But I have to say, I do quite like this new Doxa at 42 mil. They have, at 44 mil, they have beefed up to Panerai-esque sizes.
Good.
What are your Doxa thoughts, gentlemen?
I like the size. I find that it's a bit blocky. I like the
Mm.
other ones a little bit less blocky. Very blocky, but otherwise very wearable. I'm a fan.
They've
I don't know
been
what's different
doing
about it.
this a lot now, or I mean, not a lot, but they've been going bigger diameter, but then an emphasis on it being thin. So when we
Mhm.
had the was it the 600 or something, it was a very large watch in terms of its footprint, but it was also thinner than like a regular sub 300. So for these, the sub 202, it's wider than a sub 200, but I think the goal here is to end up with something that wears flatter and less chonky on the wrist.
I do like this red one. This red coral is quite pretty. If you care to visit your video to see it, it does.
Maybe retire the Panerai for a little bit. wear a
Yeah,
little black
maybe. I
Doxa,
mean,
little black and red
it's
Doxa.
it's not an outlandish suggestion, and it's 1,600 pounds.
Yeah,
mean,
you get 2 of these for the price of one golden shower.
Okay, and okay, that's the intro. That's the intro sorted. Yeah, it's one of those or a Doxa. You get 2 of these for the Longines. Would you, between the Doxa and the Longines, are you tempted more by the Doxa due to it being $1,000?
That's a tough
less?
decision. Tough decision.
Yeah,
I'll go
They
with
serve the same
Longines.
purpose, right? They ultimately serve the exact same purpose.
Okay.
I'm going with the Longines just based on size,
Yeah.
but if you have a larger wrist, I have a feeling these will wear quite nicely. The regular sub 200 was a bit thick for its diameter, and it
Yeah.
doesn't have a cushion case shape like those standard Doxas. So these are probably going to wear a lot nicer on the wrist, provided that you have the wrist to support the 44 millimeters in the first place.
I mean, that's
But
a
look how little
44
those
mil.
lugs are. Those are the
Yeah.
stubbiest lugs. You know that this isn't going to wear like the biggest 44. This is the size it should be. And what's Ripley? Do you know what's different about this one? Because this is 2 on there, so I imagine there's an
It's
upgrade.
it's 44 mil rather than like I think the other one was like
42.
42.
That's not
So-
really a sequel, right?
and
Like
I think they've made it thinner, maybe. I mean, they need some way to differentiate it. They wanted to call it the sub 200 so people would know it's this case shape instead of the cushion cased one that informs literally every other Doxa.
do they still sell the other one?
Oh yes.
Then
Yeah.
why have why have like a new model? You know, when you have generation 2, nobody wants generation 1 anymore.
Don't tell Rolex. The GMT Master 2 doesn't exist because it took over the GMT Master, but then we've got, for no apparent reason, the Explorer 2 alongside the Explorer, radically different watches. Then they were like, we should do this with the Yacht Master, then killed the Yacht Master 2. Maybe it'll come back. They have a patent surrounding it. So, I mean,
let's be honest. They're on like GMT Master 25 at this point, okay? It's dumb of them to keep saying 2.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe this year will be the year of the 3.
Yeah, right.
The GMT Master 3. I think it's interesting observation here that it is a pre-order. Why launch this, get people excited about it, and then go, oh, wait a minute, I can't actually just order it today. I have to wait to the end of May. It's a bit of a weird strategy for what is a sizable enough company. You would have thought just delay the launching of it until you can actually ship it. Because,
they need the monies.
yeah, well, is it just is this an issue?
Everyone today asked for money in advance. They have no scruples about this.
But
I mean, I'm surprised. I didn't even want Mike to cover this. Our rule is that if somebody has a pre-order campaign, they message our audience through a sponsored post. That is our
right, okay.
ongoing policy.
That's a good
So-
policy. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't pre-order this. I think somebody like me going on here going, oh yeah, that's really nice. 1,500 quid. It's not breaking the bank. Oh, I'm not going to order it now because I have to wait till June.
You know, when there isn't a
2026.
specific date,
So-
I guarantee you that's just a horrible estimate. End of something, beginning of something. Don't believe it. I hate
Yeah.
pre-ordering. I don't recommend people doing it. I know that's not good for business to say that.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think that unless you're getting a good deal or think it'll actually run out, wait till something's commercially available to buy it.
Yeah.
That's my
No,
my-
that's a
my
very good point. Doxa, you have let us all down.
well,
'Cause I think this
I
is
mean,
the wrong way to
so
have gone
these
about
are
this.
1 millimeter thinner than the smaller version. So there is that. 12.8 versus 13.8. So it is both.
What do they
larger-
shove to the periphery? Like they can't get the movement smaller. Like I don't understand why that has to happen. Or like why the thinner one has to be thicker. It's just confusing to me.
Or why the thinner one has to be
Steamroller.
no, the larger one is thinner. So they took something out or just made the spacer smaller.
That's what I'm saying. Why did the thin one have to be the thickness it was at? Like, should
Why
they
did the
always make it as
thin
thin as
one-
possible? Like the watch I'm wearing right now, like 3 millimeters easily could have been shaven off. Like, you know what I mean? Like they wouldn't even have to try that hard.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
Just
it
make
is.
Just make the crystal smaller. Right. Okay. Well, disappointing in there from Doxa. Gentlemen, what have you got to look forward to in the next week?
I want this live thing to be fixed. That's what I'm excited about.
Well, we are live. It's just that we don't.
The chat, the
The
conversation.
chat is not working. Oh, well, there is some chat working, but it appears to be internal. Oh no, Borisic has managed to find his way on. It is all the
Yeah.
chat has just popped up on my screen. So
Just now?
Yep, it has just appeared. I don't know where it is because we're broadcasting on 2 different channels to try and prove the point that the chat is working on one channel, but not the main blog to watch one. So,
Oh.
and for reasons that I still don't understand, and neither do Riverside or YouTube, but we will work on that in the next week or so. So there we go. Looking forward to Watches and Wonders. What's your prep like? Started packing yet, gentlemen? Airbnb's booked.
Oh, we're supposed
I
to
will
prepare
pack
for it?
this firmly into its box here.
And it'll be left in Hungary, all lonesome.
Bye.
What are you going to wear to Watches and Wonders? Ariel on the wrist. What's your go-to at the moment? Do you think going to be?
I'm probably gonna wear shorts to the show and be yelled at again a few times.
Good.
No, okay, I won't
Like
do
it.
that to you guys. I'll wait. I'll take that to the Beau Rivage. Okay.
Okay.
Security guards at Pal Expo don't need to see me in shorts again. Wrist wear? I don't know. I haven't thought about it.
Okay.
I'll see what I have.
Can we put it to a public vote on next week's show? Do you think you can suggest, if I get the chat sorted out in the next few days,
people will select for me? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, well, you have to, you can narrow it down to 5 watches.
He's gonna make another wheel. Don't encourage.
Yeah, there'll be a
this.
wheel. I think you should do an article asking the audience a bit of interaction. You want to build the community, asking them which of 5 watches you should wear to Pal Expo.
But they're all.
I think it's a
Spinnaker
good
collabs.
game. I just feel like I need to have like a social media intern to help me with these types of things because the amount of work required in doing that is intense.
Okay, if somebody listening to the show would like to volunteer for the next 2 weeks to help Ariel choose a watch and do a social media campaign, the door is open to prove your worth. Ripley, what are you going to wear to Watches and Wonders?
Watch or
I mean, have you done a photographic shroud of your wall to be able to wrap yourself in and sneak around?
no? I think the wall would stand out. Maybe Rolex fluted bezel camouflage, so I could sneak back into the booth or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, the last several, I often just wear my Palm Dial, but maybe I'll
Mhm.
switch it up this year and wear whatever flavor of energy drink I'm.
I think that would be good. I think
Would you wear one of those hats that holds the drinks and you could drink 2 of them while you're walking around the show?
Some straws.
I would
Brilliant.
if the
Love
bathroom
it.
situation was better. If I champ like a gallon of my favorite energy drink and then I have to go like find the
Hike.
catacombs with go into the basement, and at that point it's going to become a panic situation by the time I get there, and there's always a queue. So maybe at the Beau Rivage, you wear the shorts, I'll wear the beer hat.
Yeah, beer hat. That's what we want. We want shorts, beer hat. David, what cultural iconic gear would you wear to match Ariel shorts and Ripley's beer hat?
I'll be wearing that mint green Hublot. That's what I can offer
Perfect.
and what I will do.
David, is there like a specific super Hungarian piece of clothing or accessory?
What's
There
Hungarian
are
traditional
some
dress?
traditional,
Like we've
yeah,
got
folklore.
cowboy hats and all
There
sorts
must
of
be a
stuff.
hat.
That's like mega American. But like,
I
what's the
can
Hungarian?
dress. Yeah, there's like a proper head to toe folklore, stuff, But of course, for that I will need a whip and a horse, or at least like some sort of a
I can
what
bring
is
the
it?
horse.
What is it called? What is that? That large, not horse, not
Ox?
not
The
a
large
bull, but
horse?
a bull like something. Just to herd stuff. With a whip and a full folklore attire into the Pal Expo. That's basically it.
Good. Well, if anyone would like to sponsor David to bring all this gear to be on the your particular stand, which stand would you go to first? Hungarian folklore outfit suits.
I
which
would
watch best?
park my herd
Your
into the
moose.
queue at the Rolex booth. just 10 bison. That's the word I was looking for.
Bison.
Yeah, bison.
Okay. Well, on that note, we shall leave David hunting a herd of Hungarian bison, Ripley digging out his beer hat, and Ariel choosing from his plethora of shorts to wear at Pal Expo. Thank you all very much for listening. We will see you again in a week or so's time. Cheery bye.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Right.